Women around the world are being occupied by U.S. imperialist forces, or people that, or countries that the U.S. are supporting, as Israel in its genocide against Palestinians, Gaza particularly. We know that the United States is supporting Saudi Arabia in its absolute horrible, incomprehensible destruction of Yemen, where tens of thousands of people have died and millions are starving at this moment. And also women have, since the beginning of time, even though casualties have gone from being mostly military to mostly civilian, after World War I, it's getting increasingly more civilian, where it's about 90% of the casualties in war are civilian, if not more. Women are raped. Women are sexually assaulted. Women in the U.S. military are raped and sexually assaulted and murdered. Inappropriate contact with women by their coworkers or bosses. Can you imagine how hard it is in the military to say, my sergeant raped me, my lieutenant raped me, or even my fellow specialists raped me? Women historically have been treated very badly. We know one case, Lavinia Johnson, after she was gang raped by her fellow soldiers, they poured bleach inside her and then caught her on fire to hide the evidence after she was murdered.
I don't want my kids to go into the military. There's a big counter-recruitment movement too that's been at it for quite a long time. We need to keep our kids out of there. They're being sold a bill of goods. Oh, you're going to go to college. They don't tell you that it's going to be an online university made up in the cloud where you get a master's degree in 2 years and then can't use it for anything and end up working at Walmart. So it's all of us. We all need to really take a good hard look at where our money is going.
We can't celebrate gay or trans people being allowed to join the military. It's not that I think they should be prevented. I don't think anybody should join the military. Exactly. So that's the basic question. The basic question is emancipation or equality just being sucked into a disease system? So should we celebrate women being able to go into combat? No. Should we celebrate the end of don't ask, don't tell? No. It should be don't go. Period. Don't go. Yeah. Don't join.
And it isn't just a matter of the people that die and suffer the immediate cause of war overseas. It's what happens to the women in this country who watch their sons be damaged, their daughters now be damaged, not just sexually, but coming back and being suffering with PTSD, or what some people call moral injury. The suicide rate among returning veterans is absolutely over the cliff. And also, if you look at these refugee streams, they're women and children. These are women and children that are suffering. They're suffering from every angle. So it is a women's issue. It's absolutely always has been a women's issue. And we want our sons and our brothers and our husbands and our uncles to be with us on this, because it is an everybody's issue, ultimately.
I reached out to the Women's March people and I said, why don't you have war on your website as a women's issue? And they, actually this is verbatim quote, Cindy, we appreciate war as your issue, but we're never going to address it until women are free. And it turns out they really mean until liberal Democrat white women are free from Trump. Partisan Democrats have figured out that they can't really protest the wars because the Democrats are just as bad as the Republicans in that sense. So they go after these wedge issues. There were large demos, the Women's March against Trump, the anti-gun march, the immigrant things, where all these things were happening when Obama was president, but there was no Soros or foundation funding. Oprah puts in $500,000. They can have this large protest in a week, but then they turn in to get out the vote for the Democrat Party, like the Democrats are gonna solve that issue. So we don't like Trump, but we don't like Trump for the same reason we didn't like Obama, and we didn't like Bush, and so on. They're like the representative of the most evil, violent, racist, sexist empire, if not in history, at least today. Say, go vote. I don't care if you vote Democrat, I don't care if you vote Republican. You gotta be in the streets with us, calling to an end to US imperialism. When Trump was first elected, my first thought was, well, maybe the movement will be revitalized, even though I feel like, that movement was very hypocritical because, they were against the war in Iraq and Afghanistan when Bush was president, but not against those wars when Obama was president, or his destruction of Libya, or, further incursion into Africa, Syria, Somalia, and not ending the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, for example. If we have Trump or Clinton, for example, the war machine in Wall Street is happy. They always win and we always lose. So we have to take these forces who have separated already from the Democrat and Republican Party and funnel that energy more positively, because I think most people, even if they're not registered Democrat or Republican, when they get to the voting booth, they have this like fear-based voting. It's like, if I don't vote for Clinton, Trump might win, or if I don't vote for Trump, Clinton might win. So we have to, I know we're in Washington, D.C., we're in the belly of the beast, we're in the capital of our diseased democracy here, and how do we get people to channel that electoral energy into social movements